Yeah, I actually find this time to be the most fascinating because right now we're at sort of peak or nearing peak of primary season. You can see that, for example, in the Texas Senate race, which I think is fascinating, where you have John Cornyn against Ken Paxton, which is a race that has been trending away from Cornyn for months, if not years now, as Cornyn has been called out as, not sufficiently catering to President Trump, and Paxton is, and so Texas is getting real riled up about that. So we're still in the very much the primary season, where all of the candidates get as extreme as they can possibly be, and for Republicans that means getting as close to President Trump as they can possibly be. And then once we get into like February, March of next year, we'll see them migrate back into a general space where they can appeal to the independent voter. And that's really where I would encourage any investor to keep your eye on, is where are the independent voters polling. They are growing as a population share of the American public, and they are generally very opposed to these extremes from either side, the left or the right. And so those independent voters are the ones that they'll cater to in the sort of February through November period of 26. But right now, they're only talking to their bases.
So we're going to have Congress come back from their recess. Hopefully they were well behaved on their recess. Coming back to school, what are they going to do when they get back to Washington? What's the to-do list here for the fall?
The to-do list is exhaustive. There are a couple things. The first thing is a really big deal, which is the National Defense Authorization Act. Senator Cornyn already has that teed up for consideration in the Senate. And one of the things to be mindful of is that there is a very real possibility that the government shuts down on October 1st. That would not be constructive to the president's agenda and could cause quite a bit of harm. So when you see what the senators are doing and what Senator Thune has teed up, he's really trying to make it so that if there is a shutdown, it impacts the smallest amount of the federal government as possible. So getting a Defense Authorization Act bill through, getting other appropriations bills through actually helps him later on in the month. But it's going to be jam-packed. They've got nominations to consider, the sanctions package. There's a lot to do.
You know, Henrietta, this is off my radar because it's a shock the Red Sox are playing games that matter in the middle of August. It's very unusual. Henrietta, if we shut down in October, are there elements of our parties that want us to shut down?
I would say the group advocating most for a shutdown is the left, the far left of the Democratic Party, that you'll recall was really upset with Minority Leader Schumer back in March, I think it was, when he sort of rolled over and let Doge and Elon Musk and Donald Trump do all their stuff without actually putting up any kind of a fight. And that was a choice that Schumer made in the first quarter of this year, that I know there is a lot of pressure from the left on him not to repeat that same mistake, or to at least put up some sort of fight. What you're seeing on the, but go ahead.
Do they have the power to shut us down?
Yeah, for sure. You need 60 votes to keep the government open, and Republicans only have 53. So they need probably what will equate to 15 to 25 Democratic votes for a bill to keep the government open, because you'll lose some of the right and you'll lose some of the left in the process of getting a 60 vote threshold reached. And then that same bill is going to have to pass in the House, and you're going to lose a good number of House Republicans, and they're going to need Hakeem Jeffries in his conference. So they have quite a bit of control here for the first time all year, actually.